Hi, Will.
Hello.
How
Hi,
are
Sid.
you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How about you?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Very good.
Okay.
Okay. So, how have you been?
Good. Wow, it's been an interesting couple of weeks.
Tell me about.
Um, yeah, it's been an interesting couple of weeks. I don't know where to start.
Start anywhere. Whatever comes to your mind. Go with the flow.
Sure. Uh, yeah, it's been, you know, it was kind of my first experience with hypnosis or channeling or anything like that. So it kind of put this question into my mind about like, what is this? I guess I knew, I read about it, I understood, but what is this? What are other people's experiences? And it was interesting to like get so much more information in the past couple weeks about, yeah, it's funny because it just happens like that. At this point I'm not that surprised anymore,
Hmm.
just a little bit, but I'm like, what is this thing? Like, what am I actually doing? And then you can see the next day, somebody I really like, their class comes out, channeling. What is it? What is this experience? So it's been, yeah, like I feel like I have more questions than, I start with the questions, get some answers, and then now I have a million more questions.
Mm.
Uh,
Well, today we just concentrate
yes.
what has been your experiences after the session.
Okay.
And then after we have enough time, then we go to your questions, right?
Okay. Okay.
How's
Sure.
that?
Sure. Sure. Sounds good. Yeah. How's my experience been? Um,
We start from your dreaming. How has been your dreaming?
that's a good, you know what? It's been very, there was a few days where it was, I don't, there was many years where I didn't have any dreams.
Oh, okay.
I would just wake up and there would be nothing,
Mm.
right? And in the past little while, I've started to kind of come back to dreams and start to remember them more.
Oh,
I
wow.
have I have really strange ones sometimes. Last one, I had a full movie
Mm.
out in my head, a full movie, like 3 hours.
Wow.
Uh,
Fascinating.
yeah, but that was a while ago. So even last night, I woke up this morning having these dreams, and I couldn't remember, but throughout the morning, I kept getting flashes of it was a school, it was this, there was somebody who kept talking about being vegetarian. I kept hearing this, this, these so many flashes. Yeah, I wish I could remember. I keep my journal next to my bed to write down my dreams. But yeah, yesterday, yeah, I don't really remember, but it's been interesting, and I've woke up sometimes really scared as well, feeling a lot of fear.
Mm.
Um, and I've come to understand that it's normal. It's usually just an emotion processing out. But that's happened to me, yeah, a few days ago. I woke up at 2 a.m.
2 a.m. is good time.
Yeah,
Almost
yeah, it's a good.
everybody wakes up that time. Astral travel, come to the body, right?
Yeah,
About 2, 3 a.m. Yeah, on
yeah, and
average.
it was I was like, I want to go back to bed, but my body was like, no, no, that's a no. I'm gonna stay up. We're gonna process everything that kind of happened, everything that came up for you. Um, yeah, so that's happened to me a couple times, and it's usually a good time to journal or to write or to read or watch a video. Yeah, to be away from technology for a while and just alone, completely alone. The world is off, the lights are off, there's no sound. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a good time to just be.
You said you woke up from fear. You are dreaming something fearful?
You know what? When it's interesting because often when that happens, it's usually when I'm feeling scared
Mm,
or I'm feeling, sometimes I'll wake up and feel like some kind of heavy emotion, anger,
mm.
but usually it's fear. Um, wake up and I'll have no recollection or any memory of the dream. Almost always.
Mm,
If I wake up in a good mood or something interesting, I'll probably remember.
mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'm being protected from something or the point is to kind of just move this emotion out and through my body. Um, but yeah, it happens. It happened more recently, but it's been an experience that I've become more comfortable with over the past couple years. Yeah, because it happens. I just wake up like this sometimes,
Oh.
and I look around. Okay,
Mhm.
nobody's here. And just to kind of sit and process whatever that is. Usually it's writing. And usually when I
Mm.
start to write, I usually have two different, I have two different journals here.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, and this is a kind of affirmation journal, and this is just my thoughts. And sometimes at that time, it'll be
Mm.
2, 3 a.m. and I'll just go through and through and through and through and through and through,
Mm.
sometimes for hours.
Wow, great habit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would like
Wow.
to say it's a choice, but I feel like I'm it's a push in that direction.
Well, obviously, your higher self has a lot to say through you, right?
Yeah, a
So
lot.
you keep writing means they are pouring you the informations.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is good.
Which is good, which is
Mm.
good. Always sometimes uncomfortable,
Mm.
but I think, I get the impression that it's very necessary to continue to move whatever's being held in my body out,
Yes, yes, yes.
especially emotional. It's been really clear for me recently that these kind of things that are in the body,
Mm.
need to be moved out compassionately and
Yes,
um, yeah,
lovingly released.
loving release. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying. Yeah,
You
working
don't
on it.
have to try, go with it.
Yes.
Trying means, I would say, our conscious mind is trying to control.
Mm,
So let go of that. It's best that just go with the flow.
mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what normally works best. My
yeah,
experience.
yeah. That's a
Yeah.
that's a lesson to be learned for me. Go with the
But
flow.
so is everybody, like probably we are conditioned that work hard, make good money and have a good grade. We are conditioned that way. So
Yeah.
we keep trying, but now we have to learn kind of let go, let it flow, whatever comes your mind, just go with it at the
Mm,
moment, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I find if I'm can be a little bit like the moments I mentioned this before we talked about it. When I like
Mm.
to travel,
Yes.
those moments are when, I can completely let go. I
Mm.
can really 100% follow that intuition,
Mm.
go with the flow in those experiences. And everything always kind of works out, you
Yes,
know,
yes, yes.
everything,
Yeah.
I have a place to sleep. I have food to eat. I have all my needs are met usually. Maybe it's uncomfortable, right? But sometimes the big upsets are the best part. It
Yeah.
leads to a really good
Yeah. You
thing.
meet interesting people and topics are very, inspiring talk,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a good indications that we kind of traveling in this world, in this life. We are all travelers, right? So
Yeah.
make that as conscious, maybe mindset. We are travelers each day. See what happens. I don't
Mm.
know anywhere. I don't know who, but see what happens, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. It's I find like to find the balance between kind of routine and structure and then the freedom is something that I continue to think about every day,
Mm.
right? Where's the perfect balance between well, maybe there's no perfect balance, but the
Doesn't
balance
have to be
between,
perfect. That's just too much pressure. You
yeah,
know, we
yeah.
do our best and then just let go. Yeah.
Mm.
So other than dreams, what other things were interesting that happened to you?
Well, it was okay. So after we did our session, first of all, I was, I was really tired the next day.
Mm,
Like my body was, because our session, well, it was really long, right?
long, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
And
special. Special person, longer time.
yeah, it was,
Mm,
yeah, it was long. And I felt, yeah, I felt fatigued. I kept thinking in my mind, okay, so I did the session, supposed to feel great now. Okay, I'm waiting. I don't feel great. Where's that feeling? And I had to actually really say, okay, my body's just fatigued. There was so much energy coming into my body.
yeah, of course, yeah.
It was intense, like lightning or something.
Mhm.
And
So much
after,
healing too, right?
yes, a
So
release.
it was pouring. So, it was very intense work, right? For so many hours.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And the lots of energy just pour down to you.
yeah. And
Heal it, clean it, whatever.
and I've never experienced that for such an extended period,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
For moments, for, sometimes I can, because it's the experience that I've come to be familiar with, the kind of energy moving through my hands, tingling
Yes.
in my scalp, like kind of a little bit shaky.
Mhm.
And the first time it happened to me, I remember I was taking a bath, and the hot water, the relaxation, the Epsom salts, everything is
Yeah.
releasing the body, and all of a sudden I feel like this, yeah, like thing come through me, this kind of energy come through my body, and my hands start to go like this, and I thought I was dying. I thought, oh my God, what's happening? Am I crazy? Oh. And then slowly, like I've had it happen, whenever I'm in a state of kind of relaxation, I can feel kind of moving. It feels like what's stagnant is moving through my body,
Mhm.
and whatever's pouring in, maybe more higher energies are coming into my body, and yeah, it shifts my posture, it shifts the way
Mhm.
I sit and feel, but never has it been an experience like 3 hours. So
Ooh.
yeah. And it was interesting because I was listen. So the next day, or within the next couple of days, I still had these questions in my mind of
Mm.
like, what happened? Did I make that up? Was that my mind? Was I in control of that? Um, so I got to listen to some people who were also sharing their experiences,
Mm.
like someone who I'd known for a long time online. All of a sudden, had a class about this, and it had different teachers coming in to talk about channeling. And yeah, I came to the class, and it was just good to hear my experience reflected back. She said how it's really intense energy, and how she was nervous as well. And yeah, it was kind of it just kind of confirmed my kind of questioning and my fears and my experience. And sometimes, the kind of religious programming that says this is a kind of negative, evil thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And talking about religious stuff, and I asked that question too because so many people are coming from religious backgrounds of certain belief systems, right?
Yeah.
And so certain belief system says that hypnosis is really that you're not supposed to go through it because you lose your control and everything. So I asked about that to higher self of client,
Mm.
and what they said is that long times ago, the conditioning was, well, that kind of conditioning was needed because those days people did not have the understanding about what this realms of exploring.
Yeah.
So they wanted to protect them. So
Mm.
that's why they said so. But nowadays, people's frequencies are higher up. They can take more, they can understand better. So therefore, there is no need to worry about it. That's been
Okay.
said, yeah. So I questioned about it because, especially the older people, they come in with religious backgrounds. Say, oh no, that's against my religion.
Right.
You're not talking to devil, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Right.
I have
Well,
inquired about that was the answer. So nowadays it's perfectly fine, accepted. And
okay.
actually that's helping too, right?
Mm.
And what kind of benefit did you receive?
Um, yeah. I wanted to say before I answer your question, I wanted to say I was also nervous going into it.
Oh, everyone is.
Yeah. I also thought, is something negative gonna happen? Is I'm letting an energy or a voice or something into my consciousness. Is it going to be negative? And I got this kind of intuition the day or two before our session, because I'd sent you an email a long time ago,
Mm,
and then I felt hesitant, and then I came back later. Um, and I got this intuition a few days after, and it's like what receive in your body is relative to your your being,
mm,
not what you're wishing or willing into, but kind of your intention, and also what you're holding within attracts everything, right? So
mm.
your people say vibration, or people say, other types of words, integration, whatever, but I think it's kind of like internal alignment is what's going to attract certain energies
Right.
to you. And
Hmm.
yeah, that kind of eased my mind
Hmm.
a little bit more.
And so once you were in the thing in the beginning, how did you feel? Were you still nervous?
Yeah, you know what? Because when I came in, I was nervous, and then I kind of let go a little bit. I started to express my thoughts and my emotions more openly. Um, and then when I laid down on the bed, I started to feel nervous again,
Mm.
right? And I could feel my heart beating. And I think even throughout the session, there was still a part of my conscious mind that was like this. Oh,
Of course, of
we can't
course.
let go. I can't let go. And
It's
I think,
their job.
yeah, yeah. And I think it's healthy, right? In some
Oh,
sense.
absolutely. We balance out. We work together with conscious mind and higher self, right?
Mm,
Because conscious mind has a job to do, and they are very good at it. And so let higher selves for a certain amount of time only, and then they can have all your attention, and
right.
which they are having it now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So so when we were exercising, like visualization, everything, how did you feel?
Um, I felt a little bit nervous, but I'd also felt like I was kind of prepped for it a little bit before. So even in the few days up to that, I was watching some YouTube videos and listening to other people's experiences about kind of the higher self or connection to, because everybody uses a different name, right?
Right.
Of
Same
what
thing.
this,
Yeah.
yeah, same
Mhm.
concept, right?
Yeah.
And there was a YouTuber that was talking about, all the different philosophers or different people throughout history, and they all had a name or a being or a higher self or God or an angel, so many different people
Mm.
that they'd brought through, like Young and Napoleon and all these Jesus, all these famous people who had shifted our society had these kind of connections with a being that just gave it a name.
Hmm.
So that happened before, and then when I came in, I thought, okay, I can remember that. It's normal. I'm also still nervous, and it just moves through. And we did
Hmm.
some breathing exercises that was helpful.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So once you were in the past life or some, your case, they just come in right away, right?
yeah.
You basically, and so how was your conscious mind was behaving at the time?
It was well, I noticed in the session that where the point where it kind of moved more predominantly from my conscious mind to higher self,
Mm.
because it changed from the way I was referring to myself. It went from I to we.
Mm.
when I was speaking. And that was so weird because I can hear my voice change too.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, it's my voice, but
You're kind of detached and then observing, kind of, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the intonation was different, and I'm kind of over here, and that's happening there.
Yeah.
So that was, yeah, I think throughout it there was some resistance
That's
there.
very normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because our conscious mind has a strong job consciousness, or what do you call it? They are very duty bound,
Mm.
and they don't want to leave their job, you know. So they are really tight and hold on to it. But we ask permission just for a little while, please, you know. So they are kind of hesitant, but okay, and hesitant, okay, you know, that kind of thing. But we continue, you know, we and we, he, whatever, right? So that's
Yeah.
okay. You
Yeah.
didn't, yeah. So I know the inner battles are always there,
Mm.
but that's part of the whatever the process.
Yeah.
Rarely people are totally free. Very rarely.
Okay.
I get maybe once or two people a year. They
Okay.
just don't remember a thing. They
Yeah.
have no interference, none. And they
Right.
don't even remember. Very, very, very rare nowadays.
Mm.
99.9% are all like you.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting, right? Because I feel, but I also, part of my, afterwards, I thought, in a deeper state, I could probably be access to different kinds of knowledge, right?
Absolutely.
So I felt, I listened back to it and I thought, well, I would like to also go deeper at some point, right?
You will.
Yeah, yeah, to,
It's like the more you practice, the deeper you go because you are used to it. Yeah, your understanding is there now.
yeah.
So after that, second time onward, you're gonna go right deep there because you already gone over the practice of doubting. You
Mm.
pass that, so you just go right in and deeper and access the far beyond the
Yeah.
mysteries of the universe. You
That's
know?
what I want. Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just fascinating.
Yeah. And
The,
sorry, go ahead.
go ahead.
Um,
You got everything on your that fingertip of that boundaries of consciousness and the higher self. Just
yeah,
let go open and pop you are in.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Entire universe mystery is all there for you to grasp.
yeah. I'm grasping. Yeah, it was, and the kind of information that's been kind of flowing to me after that has been really
Mhm.
special, been
Yeah.
really, because I feel, I feel like I'm taken on a journey,
Mhm.
and each step is a piece of knowledge that I can understand,
Mhm.
and part of me thought, oh, I wish I went deeper, I wish I knew more, but it's also, this is what is
Yeah.
necessary,
Absolutely. Yeah. You
yeah,
broke the foundation. I mean,
yeah,
you dug the ground, right? And go deeper, deeper now, or fly higher. I don't know whichever it is, you know. We can definitely either higher or deeper, doesn't matter.
yeah,
Yeah,
same,
just
same.
yeah, but we have to open the door first.
Mm,
Yeah. So you just open the door and it's just up to you now. From now on, go. What do you want to find out? This way, that way, either way, doesn't matter.
right.
Yours, everything is all for you.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. 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 Because we went through the session. I thought, wow, it's really cool. And then some more fears started to creep in,
Oh, what kind of
and
fear?
like to oh, what was I connecting to? Is this the
Oh,
same fears? This old programming, right? I was
mm,
nervous, and then I felt comfortable, and then the same thing came up. So then
mm,
more information came in for me, um, about other people's experiences, how to kind of create protections around the self, and to it says in the Bible, right? It's just like challenge any entities in the name of whatever, it says in the name of Jesus, but whatever you believe in, right? Whatever you kind of are there. And I don't know if it's necessary or not, but it provides my conscious mind with a period of or a space of, oh, okay, we said this thing and we can relax and
Yeah,
just,
now I know it's familiar. Okay, I can handle it kind of, right? Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That's the stages that we all go through it. But
yeah.
once you have a better understanding about the whole thing, you will discard it. Ah, that was just my mind was making it all up. Forget it. It's like, where is negativity? It is the person who creates, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
anything, did you find any difference in relating with other people?
It's, what's interesting is two things shifted for me. One is relationship to myself,
Mhm.
and then one with other people. So, and it's interconnected. So it's, my relationship with myself, I started to kind of differentiate more a little bit between this higher self and my human aspect, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's something I'd never really done before.
Mhm.
It kind of felt like one thing, but for the sake of understanding, it seems necessary to look at the kind of human aspect of myself differently. And that experience kind of shifted it for me because it's like I can feel my higher self and I can feel connected. And then suddenly I'm in a situation, if it's a social situation or something that I'm scared of, or an old trauma or something like that comes up, and all of a sudden
Mm.
I'm back to what feels like zero.
Mm.
I'm scared, I'm nervous, I feel like a kid again. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that again. And then, so it's this kind of message has shifted for me. It's like, well, this is the human aspect.
Mm.
I was born into this family to kind of work through these traumas. I can be compassionate to myself. I can see where it came from and say, this is my human side.
Mm.
And to really just understand that this is part of the process to say, okay, this is it. It has to be worked out. It has to, these little things have to be kind of shifted and moved and breathed out and uncomfortable. Yeah. So much
Excellent.
yeah.
Wow, so much is already changed. Like you can able to distinguish. Okay, this is human thing. That's this. That's a huge. Before you were just in it, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't know what happened and how come and all this. Now, okay, and separate it.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Because part of the frustration was like, okay, why can't I be in this kind of higher state all the time?
Mhm.
Oh, I go into a stressful situation, go to work, go here, and then I still feel these old fears, old this, and I felt frustrated. It hasn't shifted so much. I still feel these fears and this and that,
It
but
takes time.
yeah, my perspective is different, I think.
That's huge because you know now that the compass is, whereas before compass is here all mingled, but now it's there. So you know where to go
Yeah.
and what is the right side, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. What about with other people you find?
Well, you know what I feel, right? It's like this is, me,
Mm.
the human self and a higher self, and I feel this bridge of connection
Okay.
there. And also I can feel, I don't want to say, I don't want to say like the false self. I don't like that term, but like the protective self,
Mm.
this kind of self that we learn to be when we're younger to survive, like, doing certain things, like maybe some unhealthy habits, like
Mm.
people pleasing or pretending or not being 100% honest or not being straightforward, etc. I can feel very strongly it's like the image is like kind of, I'm in a box and I can't, I'm getting too big for it,
Yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
like, and every time I still feel this kind of these pulls to be
Mhm.
my old self, but
Mm.
also there's like a metamorphosis, like a
Yes,
breaking out of this, but it's still the process where I'm
yes,
pulling out,
yes.
like, it's like heavy and pull this cocoon off. but it's still there, you know? It is still there and slowly moving. So I can feel that process kind of accelerated. And I every moment I'm like, I feel when I'm out of alignment. You know, we talked about in the session. Okay, my knee hurts. Okay, what am I doing? Why is my body reacting this way? Am I in alignment right now? Can I stand tall? Can I be myself? You know, whatever that is, right? Speak honestly. Yeah.
Excellent. You're doing fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been, yeah. 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 It's nice to hear that because it's felt like heavy, you know, like a clearing out of these old things. And yeah, it's always progress, but through the progress, it sometimes feels very cloudy and heavy and making space, you know, for something new. But yeah, sometimes that process is like crunchy. It's uncomfortable, very uncomfortable, actually.
Yeah, in the cocoon of you used to be, and you are growing bigger, 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 and you want to become a butterfly out of it. It's like almost now cracking. Inside is like all forming for the new, evolutions.
Yeah.
That's a great metaphor, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
what you are going through it. Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. How do you find your work?
Well, I had like a really, you know, I've been having this shift recently, this pull in a different direction for so long. And you know, I've been doing something that's felt useful, but not as useful as it could be, right? Instead of, so I'm, you know, language teaching and giving, okay, let me think about how to formulate it. Like I've been trying to go in a certain direction with my work that I've been scared to step into for a long time.
That's normal.
Yeah, it feels new, it feels unfamiliar. I'm nervous. It's not, I don't see anybody else doing what I want to be doing, what I've had the inclination to do for so long. If I do the old thing, I'm safe. I'm safe, I'm comfortable, but I'm not happy. And I feel frustrated because I don't see changes or growth in myself or in my students. And I realize it's not my responsibility to change them. It's of course their responsibility. So I want to be in a position to give them all the tools to do that, but it means that I have to completely change my method. So I was hesitating and kind of lagging, you know, I'm not really wanting to step in it. And then I kept kind of ignoring my teaching, my online profile. And I ignored it for so long that they said, we're going to block your profile for some time. And at first I felt frustrated. I thought, what? How can you do that to me? And then I thought, well, actually, maybe this is what I need to kind of move forward, you know, to kind of retire from this platform for a little while, to regroup and reform and step into what I want to be doing, you know, which is not, you know, it doesn't sound very nice, but spoon feeding people, you know, like
that never goes too far. It's like how long can you do it?
Yeah. Are you tired yet? That's the question that I heard, you know, are you tired of doing that? And I'm like, yes, I'm tired of doing that. I want to, yeah, there's not very far you can go with it.
It's like, it's like a parents. Parents want to give everything for their children. And then they give you this never end. This child grows up to become a mature adult physically. But because it's been that way, the child knows only one way, to be given. So I see a lot of parents are doing the same thing, and then they carry the children's, they carry the children on their back over the bridge. And then it's not healthy because parents are robbing the opportunity of the child of growing up and become more evolving, because they keep giving, and then child knows only that way, right? You've got to let it go, let them make a mistake, and only then they will learn, oh, this is not the right way, maybe this is the way. They are learning it, but we keep giving it, and that's all they know, and that's what they expect. It's like a total retardation. What is the right word? Like the progress is forbidden. Yeah, stunted. Yeah. So it's not doing any favor for anyone.
Yeah.
So spoon feeding, that has to go, right? Nobody get benefits, really. The children and neither teachers, nobody.
The teacher, not the students. And yeah, so that's felt like.
So what are you going to do now then? If you stop spoon feeding, then what next?
Yeah, that's the question. I think everything that I've had set up, I have it already ready, you know. It's already, everything is laid out in front of me. It's right here, you know. It's kind of my next opportunities to kind of step into that myself, you know, and to trust that, you know, everything that I need is going to come to me. If it's a food, or if it's money, if it's everything like that, it's going to come in the future, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if I'm in survival mode, then it kind of stifles my progress, it feels like.
Here, especially in our country, everybody is looked after. Even this pandemic going on, people are being supported by all kinds of organizations, right? So we are really blessed, because no one is really be deprived of the basic needs of people. So survival instinct should not really get activated right now. I mean, that is, it doesn't help you anything, right? It's got move forward into the fog. Let's see what happens.
And it's scary, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's a normal reaction. Absolutely. If you don't feel scared, well, see, like that kind of fear is sort of implanted for us. Say, for example, children, the parents will say, don't touch it, you get burned. Otherwise, they will keep, and that they will hurt themselves. So in that way, that was a necessary kind of conditioning for people that don't get hurt. But we don't get sucked in that, right? We recognize, okay, that was necessity, but we can move forward to a different way.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah.
So how's your worldview changed?
It feels like it's gone like this a little bit, you know.
So what do you see more like this?
Something
something you didn't see, but now you see. What are they?
Yeah, to think more about what is unseen in the world, right? I think that's, in the past, you know, 6 months, I feel like my whole worldview has fallen apart. Everything. You know, my relationship with myself, in my circle, my relationship with myself has changed. Understanding who I am, what I am. You know, my relationship with my family has changed. And also my perception of society and the world, you know. What is true has been a question. What is real? Is it what we've been taught and conditioned to believe, or is it something different? Is society what we know, or is society a very different thing from what we've been taught? Who benefits, you know, from this? Do I benefit from this? What's a world where I benefit the most? You know, so these questions have been coming. Am I crazy for all these thoughts and feelings and experiences that I've had my whole life, that if I told anyone that's what it feels like, I would be told that I'm woohoo, you know? Or is that real? Is that reality? Right? Is our reality more than what we can see and touch and smell and feel? you know, and it's slow because although it's like the truth I know on a deeper level, I hear something and I say that's true. I know that that's true.
Mm-hmm.
But in my mind and in my body, that kind of old programming is still there,
Mm-hmm.
right? So kind of, you know, it's like the belief and sort of like the knowing and the belief connecting them, you know, because the knowing, you know, it like knows, right? I know, but the belief that I hold is sometimes different from that. So it feels like there's kind of a merging of these two things. And yeah, that's been a continued process, you know, but
Oh
this
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
to
I
listen to my recording and go, wow.
once you crack the egg, whatever, it just kind of popped in from the inside of a shell. You only know that life, but once you crack it, look at the amount of new information, right? I mean, you've been in under like just for a few hours and look at the information just for pouring in
Yeah,
something that you are not familiar with,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And makes you wide open. What happened? Was it real?
Yeah,
Is that true?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Is that and here's the book that I talked about.
Oh yeah. I think is that Dr. Hulda Clark?
Hulda Clark, yeah,
Oh yeah. I think I read that. Oh, that's a good one.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
So
that was
did you read the page what they said?
I did it. I haven't been that strict about it, but I'm like, okay, today I'm gonna
Oh, okay.
follow it clearly. Um, yeah, that was an interesting one, and I passed that book, and every day I would look at it, and I don't want to. That's so much trouble to look at find all these things, make this recipe, and
Mhm.
I don't want to do that. So I listened to the recording, and I listened to it this morning, and the very first thing I just chose a spot, and the
Mm.
very first thing was that passage from this.
Oh,
I'm like,
so you had to
okay,
look at it, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, because
yeah,
she was emphasizing two things are the cause of our illness, right? One is the parasite, the other one is toxins.
yeah,
I think that's my memory test.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if we get rid of all these two things, we'll be perfectly healthy, right?
Mm,
Hmm.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I've been, yeah, trying to minimize my exposure, but I think it's in a sense to find again the balance between this thing, right?
Hmm.
Because we live in this world that where there's a lot of toxins, right, that we're exposed to on a daily basis.
Hmm.
And if the fear of that overpowers, you know, like if the fear is too strong, then the fear is going to harm you more than
Oh,
the
absolutely.
toxins, right? So,
Yeah. But they say that they meaning the higher selves, right? They say that our body is designed to live 100 years, so that the fear is the thing that human put it in.
yeah.
That's a limiting, restricting, and all that kind of thing, right?
Mm.
But our body is designed to live almost like eternity.
Yeah, a
Hmm.
100 years is short.
Short.
Mm.
Yeah, like most other planets, people live about 200-300 years normal.
Right.
Yeah, so in our world, like people are in 80s, whatever they think that's old.
Mm.
And 100 is something like a new goal setting kind of, but that's very like, still toddler for the
Yeah,
other planets, right?
yeah.
So that's what they say. We are designed to live hundreds of years.
Mm.
And even one client, not only one, many actually, in their past life, they lived thousands of years.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like I feel like yeah, it's such a short amount of time. Like I feel like at this point in my life, you know, after 30 years, I don't know anything, you know? And now I feel like, okay, I'm starting to understand the most basic principles of life and the world and myself and how can such a short time, how can we have such a short time? It would be great to continue with these learning, even though we do in a sense continue, but to not start over every time, that would be nice. I kind of like my life now, so
Yeah. Aim your life to be 500-600 years old.
yeah.
Yeah. You can be a role model for all the other people.
Yeah. No, no one
Show
will
them.
believe it.
Show them how you did it. What's necessary,
I'm still learning, right? I think
You're
that
doing
feels,
very well.
thank you.
You are doing very well.
Mm.
Anything else that you noticed that you found out? It's been very short time actually, so it's continuing
Yeah.
awakening. But like for the past few weeks, did you notice anything that's drastically different?
Nothing particularly drastic. Um, I am trying to follow my intuition more, especially when it comes to um, things in the past that I would have had my mind closed to,
Mm-hmm.
like certain types of reading materials, um, stuff that it's like very supernatural or paranormal or something like that. These kind of books that just come to me. Yeah, the biggest thing for me has been kind of learning or it's moving forward, bridging this gap between like I guess my higher self and my human self, and kind of merging these two things into one. I think that's been a huge focus, to be really compassionate about this space that I'm holding, or the space that I'm holding in my body, the things that are here that I can't snap my fingers and uh cut all of these experiences from my family or my life. I can't just cut it out. If I do, I don't learn from them, right? So it's to be kind of compassionate and understanding, and yeah, continue to process these my experiences and kind of make peace, especially in the family system, making peace with my parents, who they are, what they've given to me, good and bad, and how this has kind of trained me to have, I think, a sight,
Mm-hmm.
an insight and a sight.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I look at the world and, I'm with people and I say, do you see that thing right there?
Mm-hmm.
Like that person's lying. Look at a politician or look at a social system and say, that person's lying. That's wrong. That's deeply wrong. And to have somebody say to me, no, I don't know what you're talking about. So I think one of the blessings that I'm kind of appreciating more and is like to know that my experiences growing up gave me an insight into the world that I think I wouldn't have had ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You have been doing great for just a short time, speedy evolution, like phew.
It's funny because it feels always, the evolution, it always feels painful, right? So I think, oh my God, I'm doing nothing. Life is so heavy. And then when I say it out loud and I hear that reflection back from you, I'm like, yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah, that's, yeah, correct.
Oh, anything else you'd like to add?
I came across a very, wow, strange and mind-blowing video yesterday
Oh, tell me.
on YouTube.
Okay.
It was a man and he was sharing his experience, really similar experience to mine over the past year. He was sharing how he kind of came in contact. So someone who was not invested at all, didn't know anything about spirituality or anything, and started to develop insomnia
Okay.
and connection to what he said, like a higher guidance
Okay.
that would talk to him every day.
Okay.
And it was all these, through his story, It's actually a very fascinating story, and if you'd like, I can send you the video because it was
And
really,
yes, I please do.
oh, it was really, I've listened to it 2 times so far, and
Mm,
his experience was really phenomenal, but I saw so many strange correlations between his
mm.
experience and my experience.
Oh.
And it was like, it was kind of affirmation, confirmation, I could say, of some of my experiences and how strange and weird and unbelievable they seem in an older paradigm. And yeah, it was just, yeah, just unbelievable. Like just some little things, for example, he was talking about breaking his cell phone
Mm.
and getting the guidance to not get a new cell phone. And this was also my own kind of experience.
Oh, that's huge nowadays. No cell phones.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah. Or
that's
to
really revolutionary. Just go with the guidance only, kind of.
my brain GPS. Like right now, I still have it, but I don't have any SIM card. Um, but I still use it for podcasts and photography. But at some point, I've been getting this kind of intuition that it's time to maybe put it behind me, to not have this type of phone. Um, but that depends on the person and their life and what they need to stay connected to.
Mhm.
But also, yeah, so many interesting things because I always am this kind of pull, right? As I'm learning these many things, should I be sharing these things?
Mhm.
And part of what I was listening to in the video, he was saying, well, you have to wait until people are ready to hear it, right? And maybe there are certain groups and they'll come, but just get prepared for that moment
Mhm.
when people want to hear and they're open and
Mhm.
interested. And also when I am comfortable to step into that sharing,
You're
you
right.
know, of my experiences. And I think there's a conditioning and a programming, probably from past lives, where sharing these kind of truths has been very dangerous, you
Yeah,
know?
many had that. Like, many people who shared their, especially like witches they call, they share
Yeah,
the health informations using the herbs and everything, and then look at what happened to them those days,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the fears, whatever, just carried over to this life, and
Yeah.
we have to work it out this life for
Mm.
that past life stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I think part of I mean, the fear now, I think physically most people are safe, but if you step against the system in a way, there is pushback, but in different ways. I think it's through kind of our social, our, like as a species, our group mind, I think right now can be very easily manipulated and used against us if you're uh, shamed or isolated or so I think
Dif-
that's yeah,
Different time, different challenge.
different challenges.
Right? Otherwise, if we have the same experience over again, what good is it? It
Yeah,
has to be different experiences, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
I'm happy that you shared your experiences with us.
Me too.
So until we meet again, I
Yes,
will say have a good holidays.
you too.
Okay.